Aristotle developed a concept of God that stands apart from the theological perspectives of contemporary religions. His view of God wasn't based on faith or revelation, but rather on rational, philosophical principles and a systematic analysis of the natural world. By closely observing motion and change in the cosmos, Aristotle concluded that a first unmoved mover was necessary to explain the order and functioning of the universe. This approach to understanding the existence of God is deeply rooted in metaphysics and is grounded in one of Aristotle's key philosophical concerns, the problem of change. From this question, he arrived at the notion that every change must have a cause. Therefore, there had to be a first cause, an origin of all things, that itself required no cause. Unlike a personal deity, this concept of God serves as a principle of order, immutable and eternal, which Aristotle calls the first unmoved mover. Aristotle observed that the universe is in a constant state of motion and change. From the growth of plants to the movement of celestial bodies, he saw changes that demanded an explanation. For Aristotle, one of the most pressing questions was, why do things change? In pursuit of an answer, he developed the theory of four causes, a foundation of his natural philosophy. According to him, understanding anything fully requires knowing four aspects: what the thing is made of, its form or essence, who or what caused it, and ultimately its purpose. In this framework, the efficient cause and the final cause are particularly essential to grasping Aristotle's concept of God. Applied to the idea of motion, the efficient cause implies that every change requires something to set it in motion. In Aristotle's view, nothing can move itself without a cause. With this understanding, Aristotle confronted a problem. If each movement depends on a previous cause, theoretically, we could trace this chain of causes infinitely back in time. Aristotle found this infinite regression unacceptable. He argued that there must be a first mover, a first cause that is responsible for initiating all motion without needing to be moved by anything else. This first mover, he concluded, is essential for the existence of motion and change in the universe. For Aristotle, this first mover had to be immutable, eternal, and immaterial. Anything that moved or had a material form, he reasoned, would itself require a cause for its movement. Thus, the first mover must be pure actuality, without any potentiality. It does not change, it does not transform, and it is self-sustaining. It simply is. This concept of pure actuality is key to understanding Aristotle's view of the first mover. Unlike all things in the physical world, which possess both potential, what they can become, and actuality, what they are in the present, the first mover is purely actual. It exists fully and eternally, with no possibility for change or transformation. Aristotle also describes this first mover as thought thinking itself, meaning it is pure intellect, pure consciousness, eternally contemplating its own being. Since it is a being of pure actuality, it requires no external purpose or meaning, it is complete in itself, fully self-sufficient. Beyond being the efficient cause of motion, the first mover is also the ultimate purpose of the universe. This means that it serves as the final goal, or objective of all things. Aristotle saw the first mover as an attracting force, something that all beings in the universe seek or strive toward, even if unconsciously. Every entity, by performing its natural activities, ultimately seeks the perfection that the first mover embodies. In Aristotle's view, the cosmos is structured so that everything moves toward the fulfillment of its potential in a quest for perfection. This perfection is symbolized by the first mover, a being that is both perfect and unchanging. The motion of the celestial bodies, for instance, can be explained as an aspiration to imitate the perfection of the first mover, which is constant and eternal. Aristotle's conception of God as the first unmoved mover profoundly influenced philosophical and theological thought, especially in the medieval tradition. Philosophers and theologians like Thomas Aquinas reinterpreted Aristotle's idea, integrating it into Christian theology, and defining God as the first cause of all things. However, Aristotle himself did not conceive of this first mover as a personal God, nor did he believe it was directly involved in the workings of the universe or human life. Rather, he saw it as a necessary rational cause, a logical explanation for the motion and order he observed in nature. Aristotle's notion of God as the first unmoved mover remains one of the most original and influential perspectives on the origin and order of the universe. This God is not a personal deity, lacks human interests, and does not intervene in creation. Instead, it is a metaphysical principle of perfection and immutability, the ultimate cause of all motion and change in the universe. Through this concept, Aristotle offers a vision of God that diverges from traditional religious views yet seeks to provide a rational basis for understanding the cosmos. The idea of a perfect, unchanging being that serves as both the first cause and the ultimate purpose has shaped metaphysics and inspired generations of philosophers in their quest to comprehend the ultimate meaning of existence and motion.